Jesus is the Messiah and his way is the way of the cross. Charles Lamb, the 19th century British essayist, brought back to the limelight of fame the 17th century playwright Shakespeare. During a discussion on who was the greatest literary genius of all time, two names emerged: William Shakespeare and Jesus of Nazareth. This is what Charles Lamb said, putting an end to a debate. I will tell you the difference between Jesus and Shakespeare. If Shakespeare walked into this room right now, we would all rise to greet him. But if Christ came in, we would all fall down and worship. That is the essential difference between Jesus and other great men who walked on this earth. Jesus is God, and all others, no matter what their deeds, are men. Jesus is the Creator God, while others are creatures strutting on the stage for a brief time and then exiting. The Gospel according to St. Mark chapter 8 describes who Jesus really is and gives us the unique conditions for Christian discipleship. This passage is a turning point in Mark's Gospel. In the presentation of the life and ministry of Jesus found in the Gospel of Mark, the deeds of Jesus have shown Jesus to be the Son of God. Yet many, including Jesus' disciples, have not yet realized this identity. In chapter 8, verse 27, Jesus asked the disciples for a field report by asking, "Who do people say that I am?" He then turns the question directly to the disciples and asks, "Who do you say that I am?" Peter speaks for all of them when he announces in verse 29, "You are the Messiah." The word Messiah is the Hebrew word, and the Greek translation is Christ. Christ means the anointed one. The Jews expected the Messiah to be a political leader who would free the Jewish people from Roman occupation. Jesus explains to his disciples what it means to be the Messiah. The Messiah will be rejected, he must suffer and die, and he will rise after 3 days. Peter rejects this prediction, and Jesus rebukes him severely. The image of Christ that Jesus is giving is not the image of the Messiah that Peter was expecting. Jesus then teaches the crowd and the disciples about the path of discipleship. To be Christ's disciple is to follow in the way of the cross. Jesus' words must have evoked real fear in his disciples. Death by crucifixion was a familiar method of execution in the Roman-occupied territories. The Christian community for which Mark wrote his Gospel was also facing this danger. Yet, Jesus' call is for radical commitment and sacrifice. This meant even suffering, crucifixion, and death for the sake of the Gospel. So, Christian life is not a bed of roses, but a life of rejection and suffering, a life of sacrifice and pain. Our call is to remain faithful unto death to the one who called us and has given us his life. Prophet Isaiah prophesied about the suffering servant in chapter 50, verse 6. "I gave my back to those who beat me, my cheeks to those who plucked my beard." If we believe in the Son of God who has given his life for us, we should be willing to give up anything for him. St. James reminds us in his letter, chapter 2, verse 17. So, faith by itself, if it has not works, is dead. Let us profess our faith in Jesus Christ, the Messiah, by our life. Let us proclaim with the psalmist, "I will walk before the Lord in the land of the living."